What's happening? And welcome back to another episode of the Account for Life podcast. Today, man, we're going to get into probably this is a controversial topic, the Matrix, and I'm going to share just briefly, kind of like my experience, what I learned living in the Matrix, because you got to learn from your experience living in the Matrix, so that when you potentially get out of the Matrix, you know how to operate. So, this morning I woke up and I'm headed to the gym, and it's weird. It's like when I'm going to the gym, when I'm at the gym, that's when I get all this inspiration of who I am, and what's possible for me today. And the thing that popped into my head this morning was the Matrix. You're Neo, like you are a Christ. You are a type of person that can break out of your experience. You can do things you never thought you can do. You can have things you never thought you can have. You can become a version of yourself that you almost never could have imagined. That is what's possible for you. And the fact that every day we wake up and we join this experience called life means that we have an opportunity to get out of the Matrix. So, what did I learn getting out of there? So, all right, before I get into that, I just want to let everybody know tomorrow we are launching officially tomorrow. The book Beyond Tax Strategy will be available on Amazon. You can go get this book tomorrow. It will be available tomorrow, June the 14th. And I invite you to grab a copy for yourself, even grab a copy for a friend, and let someone else know. We're also going to be doing an actual book live stream at 11 a.m. on June the 14th on Facebook Live, on my page. I think both of my pages, Japheth Moore and The Healthy Accountant. That's where we'll be. We're going to give away some books. I've got some books. I got multiple versions of people's books that I'm going to give away. I may have like 20 books, different other authors that I'm going to give away. Also want to give away some of my own books. And I think, when I posted it this morning, I'm going to do an exclusive event just for folks who purchased the book over the first 24 hours. So it gives that, it's kind of like, what's the word? It's not going to be available all the time. So if you purchase the book over the first 24 hours, you'll be able to let me know by contacting me, show me your receipt by email. And then when the event is produced, you'll be invited exclusively for that event on learning and just understanding the wisdom behind Beyond Tax Strategy, the book. So guys, let's get into this, what I learned living in the Matrix. And the first thing, before I tell you exactly what I learned, I do want to share with you, what is the Matrix? So what is the Matrix? You've seen the movie, right? You've seen the movie. So I'm going to read the definition. The Matrix refers to the systems and structures in society that keep us bound to traditional ways of living, thinking, I added thinking, and working. Traditional ways of thinking, living, and working. One of the things that I learned when I got out of the Matrix is you don't need regular education in order to be great in your life. It's one thing I learned, because in the Matrix, it says that, man, if you don't go to college, you're not going to be able to do things. You're not going to be able to make as much money. And that was a lie. So that was a myth. So what I discovered is that when you discover yourself, when you discover who you were created to be, I'm not saying that a degree, let me back up. A degree, like if I got a degree, then it's just used in the discovery process. But what if I didn't? What if my mindset was different and said, you know what, I'm going to go after this thing that I'm already feeling, which was business, making money. Like that was a feeling that I had. I could have went a different direction for something totally different. So when you see the Matrix is pushing a normality, something normal. So I realized that. What else did I learn coming out of the Matrix, or while actually, what I learned in living in the Matrix is that in the Matrix, what happens is everyone's going one way. Everyone's going one way. And it wasn't until I read the scripture in Matthew chapter 7 that says, wide is the gate that leads to destruction. Many people follow this path. Narrow is the way that leads to life. Few people go that way. Paraphrased. I read that. I heard about narrow is the way in church, in school, in church schools. And I heard about the narrow path and how hard it was. No one wanted to go the narrow path. But when I really understood it, I realized that, wow, the Matrix teachings the Matrix is teaching me not to go in the direction that refines me into the version of myself that's powerful. That Matrix teachings does that. And so I says, wow, I'm not going to go the way everyone else is going. If everyone's going that way, then I know that that's probably not good. That's another thing that I learned living in the Matrix. Another thing that I learned living in the Matrix was, man, you got to go work. You got to get a stable job. You've got to get you got to have security in the fact that, you go work for the government, you go work for a really big company and you stay there. They got really good benefits. You get the job for all their benefits. I'm not saying you shouldn't have a job. I'm not saying you shouldn't get jobs. That should not be everything. It should be a stepping stone. So after I look back, I says, wow, that's interesting. They're just pushing me into a specific type of work when what if I want to create my own work? Oh, they say you live in it. Oh, you can't live your dreams. That's not you. No. That's a pipe dream. Oh, just get a job. I learned that. Like, I'm living in the Matrix. That's what they said. That's what everybody else was doing. Remember, if I just had the one law, if everyone's doing it, I should probably pivot and go in different direction. Once I learned that was powerful. But looking back, I'm just like, oh, it's not a one size fit all. You can do whatever it is that your mind says that it can do. You can decide whatever and say, I want to do that. And you can create it. Another thing. In the Matrix, what happens is they don't want you to be creative. No. They just want you to go by, okay, this is how it goes. We're going to teach you the stuff, and that's all you're going to do. You're not going to actually create anything. So we're not going to teach you to be creative. We're going to teach you to be conformed. I'll say that again. We're not going to teach you to be creative. We're going to teach you to conform. And so I learned living in the Matrix that conformity is the jailer of society. I think who said that? Kennedy said that. I have that actual quote in the Beyond Tax Strategy book. And it's the jailer. It puts you in jail. When you are a conformed person, you go to jail. But here's the thing. When you read the Bible has all these things in it. In Romans 12:2, it says, be not conformed to the world, to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. So wait a second. I went to church schools. I did the religion thing. I did it for many years. It's a tool to just kind of like get you started. But it's not until you embody these things that we embody the stuff that we want to teach each other. So if I'm looking at the word of God and it says, be not conformed. The first thing I gotta understand, if I'm not conformed, I need to be creative. But most people are not creative. I remember I'm not creative. I'm not a creative. I didn't resonate with being creative. I didn't resonate with being someone that could just, sit down, have ideas and actually do something with them. That didn't come over me. So living in the Matrix wants you to be conformed, but coming out of the Matrix wants you to be a creative. So I learned living in the Matrix is just about conformity. What else I learned there in the Matrix? In the Matrix, it's interesting because there's so many areas in the Matrix that we can cover. But here's a big thing in the Matrix. The Matrix likes for people to be confused. Confused. And I'm going to share with you what I mean by that. The Matrix wants you to be confused about what to eat, how to eat, and what they do is they use slick ways. They use slick ways of teaching us what they want us to conform to do and be. And how do they do that? It's called marketing. You heard of marketing? Marketing is what they do. It's kind of like this book, right? When you see it, it's marketing on it, meaning the look of it is marketing. When you see something, the look of it is marketing. I wish I had like a drink or something. When you look at Coca-Cola, Pepsi, Sprite, all of those drinks, when you go pick up a package, when you go look at the packaging on something, it's marketing. And what happens is what they want you to see is big. What they want you to see is big, but what they don't want you to see is small. They don't want you to pay attention to the small stuff. This is about conformity. So think about it. Somebody slick decided, man, what if instead of us, using regular sugar cane, why don't we got all this corn growing. Can't we just use that? Oh, the corn is sweet. Can we make the corn something else? Oh, we can use it. Oh, we can make a sweetener with the corn. So you got regular sugar, which is sugar cane, and then you have corn. Guys, we're talking about the things I learned in the Matrix, coming out of the Matrix. And the corn, they turn that into syrup. And then what happens is now this sweetener, which sweet is, obviously sugar is not great for us. It's just that when they use corn, what does that do? It's a starch. So now it's sweet and starchy, and starch does what? Starch expands. So I want you to think about this. So the marketing on the packaging makes you want to buy it. And then the small print, you never read it because you just figure, oh, this is good. It tastes good. But then when you go read the label, you're like, high fructose corn syrup. What is that? Corn syrup, high fructose, then all these gallons and then all these nitrates and all these niacins and they say, that's vitamins. No, it's not. It's bad for you. The Matrix teaches us to conform to the world. There's so much to learn, right? There's so much that the Matrix wants us to do. The Matrix does not want you to focus on being good. No, I don't want that. The Matrix wants us to focus on being scared and being in fear. The Matrix. So, all right. I had enough talking about the past. Let's talk about the present. So if you get out of the Matrix, I say if because everybody may not get out. Or why should a person desire to get out of the Matrix? The first thing you got to recognize is I'm in it. You got to be honest and say, I'm actually in the Matrix. And here's how you know you've been in the Matrix. Did you go to school? Yes. Did you go to church? Probably yes. Do you have a way that you eat? Yes. Food? You got food, you got church, you got school. All of this Matrix. So those are just a few areas. There's way more areas. It's no point to get in there. I'm just saying, if you did those things and you're in the Matrix, you've been indoctrinated. So we got to first just say, I'm there. I've lived in the Matrix. Whether you're in or out doesn't really matter. But if I was out of the Matrix, what could I do? If I was out, like what could I do if I was out of the Matrix? As a Many people are believers. Many people are believers. So if you're a believer, and I'll just talk to the believers first. If you're a believer, I want you to think of something. I want you to think of Christ, Messiah. I want you to think of Christ, Messiah. What does that mean to you? And then I want you to think, what did Christ, the Messiah, do? What did he do when he was on the planet? He was out healing the sick. He was out raising the dead. He was out transforming people's lives. That's what he did. So you already understand what that is. I want you to now think of yourself as a person who has this type of consciousness. What's that consciousness? The type of consciousness that can heal people, the type of consciousness that can raise people from the dead, the type of consciousness that can help to transform people's lives. That's the Christ consciousness. When I say raise people from the dead, it's kind of like being blind and now you see. I never knew that. I never knew that was possible. That's being raised from the dead. That's being raised from the dead. So that's what you say. What is that for me? Is that something I can actually experience? And you say, absolutely. Absolutely. But the only way a person can experience that, they have to recognize that they've been living in the Matrix. And then they have to recognize, okay, if I've been living in the Matrix, and now I want to get out. Now I want to get out. What is the fastest way out of the Matrix? I've introduced this. I've been talking about this for the past week. Suspend all of your beliefs. Meaning suspension means temporary. You can temporarily just say, you know what? Temporarily, I don't know anything. Every time there's something comes to me, every time that something that I have to make a decision about something, I want to act like I don't understand it. I want to act like I don't understand. I want to act like I don't know anything about it, because that is how you're going to be able to get through and understand how to navigate out of the Matrix. Because then because it's crazy. I was having a conversation with one of my mentees. In the Matrix grabbed a hold of her and she didn't realize it. Now, I didn't say it like this, but this is the revelation coming out. The Matrix said, no, you must conform to your old way of thinking. And by conforming to the old way of thinking, you cannot have what you said you would like to have. You cannot. It's not yours. You must stay in the Matrix. Stay pushing that stuff away from you. And when you push the thing that you desire away from you, what you're doing is allowing the Matrix to stay in you. So let's get out. Let's suspend the beliefs. Let's say, okay, today, I'm doing things that I never did this week. I'm like opening myself up to new stuff, because when you suspend your beliefs, you open yourself to a new belief that will say, well, if this is actually what you desire, to do this. This morning I did something. I said, I'm gonna do a book launch. I got 3 books. Look. I got 3 books, and I did not do one launch until now. Why? Because the Matrix had me. Conformity had me. Not saying that like that's just good marketing, but here's the thing. I was being conformed to an old way of thinking. Sometimes it's just your way of thinking, and you're not conscious of how it's hurting you. You're not conscious of it. You're not conscious. So the suspension of release, allowing yourself to be open to the opportunity of making a new decision so that you can develop a new foundation of beliefs. This is the power of learning, learning what happened in the Matrix so that you can see a way out. See, because if you have to consciously see your way out first before you can be unconscious about the things that you'll be doing moving on. but you have to consciously see your way out. There's no way to not, because consciously you have to realize where you've been. Consciously, you have to know that I've been holding myself up. Consciously, you have to say to yourself, man, it's time, or it's just time. Consciously, you have to do that. So I learned that living in the matrix keeps you conformed, but I learned that moving out of the matrix helps you be creative. So if creativity is something you'd like to explore, suspend your beliefs. Suspend your beliefs today. Allow yourself to start making new decisions about your desires, your dreams, your hopes. And so what I mean here, we're going to jump in just a second. What I mean is that do not put any limit. Do not try and figure out how something works. Do not compare the fact that you've only done this and you've only done that, so you probably won't be able to do this next thing. If you do that, you will cancel getting out. You will stay in the matrix. But if you would like to come out, then everything is possible. Everything is possible. Everything is possible. So I learned living in the matrix that you're conformed, but I learned that when you move your way out and you suspend your beliefs, you turn into someone who's able to create. So to that, suspend your beliefs. Learn from the wisdom that's being shared today, and allow yourself to become a creative person, a person that's infinite, that has no bounds for what they are supposed to do on this planet. There's no boundaries for you. Our boundaries are different. There's no boundaries on the level that you're supposed to operate. So make sure that this is something that you desire. Suspend your beliefs. Realize that you've lived in the matrix and it's now time to get out to become a creative. So guys, I thank you for joining me for this episode of the Account for Life Podcast. Don't forget, the Beyond Tax Strategy book is launching tomorrow, and you can grab that book on Amazon. We're having a book launch on Facebook, on the Healthy Accountant page, also on my personal page, J Fifth Moore. You can join in. I'll be giving away. I've got a bunch of books behind me. I think I have like 20 books, extra books in different genres that I'm going to be giving away, mailing them for free to people. And I'm also going to give a number of these. I may give about 10 of these away, potentially. I don't know. But for folks who buy it, now here's the thing: for folks who buy the book, there's going to be an exclusive event just for you if you buy it in the first 24 hours. So make sure you stick with us, and we look forward to seeing you back here tomorrow. God bless. I'll see you on the next episode. Peace.
This has been the Account for Your Life podcast with your host, the healthy accountant himself, Jay Moore. Until next time, make it a great day.